Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of the GVGCast, where we hang out, chat with all of you, and see what's been happening over the past week. I'm your host this week, Derek Bittner, and I'm joined by my good friend and GVG co-founder, our voice of God for today, Steve Bowling. How was your week, Steve? And, it's Mario Day, so I got two bros here hanging out with me since you're not able to be on camera.
I see that. Happy Mario Day. It's good to be here, obviously. Great way to end the week. It was an exciting week. There was a lot that happened.
I'm having a Steve issue.
Uh-oh.
I'm having a Steve issue where they can't hear me, apparently. Let me fix that. Huh. Well, my mic's working. Let's see here. Host mic working. Okay. Now, where is your audio? Can you say something for me, Steve?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Okay. No. They can hear you. Okay. I was
Jacomon.
Jacomon.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Hijacked our intro.
Hijacomoned our intro. Dang it, I didn't pull a Steve, and oh well. Anyway, how you doing, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good. For those of you that don't know, I forgot that I had planned a trip to Colorado. And so I thought it was well, I didn't forget I planned a trip. I forgot when that trip was. And so I thought I would be in Colorado next week, not this week. And so I did not have time to pack my camera. I threw my microphone in my backpack and I got out the door to the airport. So yeah, I'm voice of God today due to my own irresponsibility. But I'm glad to be here. It was a good week for gaming news.
There was a lot, like surprisingly so. There's quite a bit to talk about. A lot of it yesterday, in terms of just all stuff to cover. But yeah, for those wondering, the reason Ash is not here is that he is a very, very, very tired boy and has been burning the midnight oil for his other job. And yeah, he needs a rest. He needs a
yes.
Boy, does he need a rest. So yeah, just the two of us tonight, but that's okay. I think we can more than make up for it. But in the meantime, we do have a sponsor. As always, we are sponsored by The Game Orb, and The Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary, gameplay footage, from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming system. While games like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu can be seen on the channel along with others, there's the Game Orb has added Splatoon 3, Super Mario Sunshine, and Fall Guys to his gaming collection. So be sure to subscribe to The Game Orb at the link in the description, and of course, we will post a pin that link as well, so definitely check them out. They are always so wonderful to us for supporting us this long and just really going all out is the best way to put it. So we need to go all out for them, help them grow their YouTube channel. So yeah, that's always fun. That's always good to do. So yeah, yeah, glad your week's going well, Steve. Mine has been quite interesting because I learned, I spoke last time how I've started a new session of getting Kai to bed and not really letting him nap. Well, the other day he had a little nap on the couch for about an hour and a half. So I was like, okay, cool, we'll let this happen. Never again. I'm not letting that kid nap ever again. He did not wake up. He did not go to sleep that night until about 12:30 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. I'll be honest. I was expecting like a bodily fluid story to happen here. But,
oh, no. Thankfully, no bodily fluid.
Yeah, I would take the bodily fluid over the lack of sleep, though.
Oh, yeah. And the other thing is the poor kid's going through... his molars are coming in. So
he's teething.
Yeah. Ooh. So he woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I think the cat woke him up because it was scratching the walls for some reason. It was just, I don't know what it was doing. It's a weird cat. And it woke him up, and I think all of a sudden it's like, oh, my mouth hurts. This sucks. I'm miserable. So I was up with him until like 5:30 in the morning. So yeah.
Woof. Woof.
It's been
sorry to hear
a
that.
rough week of trying to get sleep, but that's okay. I mean, we're otherwise doing all right, trying to keep things moving. But yeah, that's all good. But yeah, I guess as we typically, well, before we get into what we've been playing and all that, of course, we have some shout outs, specifically our patron birthday shout outs. Today is Bisonhauer's birthday. Happy birthday to you. And on
Happy
Sunday,
birthday.
the 12th, is Spicy Atanda's birthday. So happy birthday to both of them. Hope it's a great one. Hopefully get some games for your birthday, or, just whatever. Get some good stuff. Or just have a good one.
Have a great day.
Yeah, just make it a good one. That's all that matters. So, yeah. And in the meantime, we've had a bunch of super chats come in. Oh, shoot. The pin is blocking. I should know it because Jaden Bucks, Crazy Question Fridays. I was blocking his name. Not the crazy question, but the name. But yes, Jaden Bucks, Crazy Question Fridays, number 74. Not counting game consoles, what obsolete piece of technology would you choose to bring back?
Whoa. That's a great question. Because I can't think of an obsolete piece of technology I care about.
Right? That's
not a video game console.
I'm honestly not sure. You know what?
That's a really tough one. Oh, CRTs.
Oh, yeah.
Might not be a game console, but it's close enough.
Yeah, a CRT would be, that's not a bad idea, just to have that option rather than have to scout out antique stores. You know what? Flip phones. Let's actually have, I know they're working on it, but have those bendable phones and have flip phones come back.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
So we'll do it. I think that sounds good. Disney Duncan with $5. Thank you so much, saying, after Street Fighter 6, I hope a new Marvel vs. Capcom is next. I know the last game wasn't great, but now that Disney owns Disney owns X-Men and Fantastic Four. So
that could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting it out, out of the cards or anything like that, but I think it'd be cool to just, I don't know, maybe Marvel vs. Capcom makes sense, but I also hope they give love to some of their other lesser known fighting games. There's a lot out there that'd be cool to see them do.
Darkstalkers. Let's get a new Darkstalkers.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like there's a Darkstalkers in the RE engine. Could be really cool.
Oh yeah, I think that would be fantastic. And the worst part is, before he quit the company, Yoshinori Ono teased us multiple times about a new Darkstalkers.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't even know what Ono's up to anymore.
Neither do I. I hope he's taking a well-deserved vacation after his tenure with Street Fighter.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's rough. I've never played a Darkstalkers game, but I'd love to check it out because I love the horror aesthetic. And Felicia was my main in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, so nice. I'd be down. And then Disney Duncan with the $2 donation after that, saying we could get a better game. I mean, I assume that's just in general. Oh, a better Marvel vs. Capcom game. I mean,
yeah, MVC needs a redemption, but I think it probably is going to take some time away before we get, our inevitable MVC. What? I guess it would be 4 at the.
They'd probably go
5
4.
Technically.
I think they'd probably go 4. Cutie Caitlin with a $20 super chat, saying taco for dinner. And from what I can tell in the live audience, they are quite drunk. So take care of yourself.
Enjoy your taco, Caitlin.
Yes. He's they're intoxicated.
Intoxicated.
Anyway, Soulcaster with $2 Canadian. Thank you so much, saying, so which GVG member is Mario and Luigi? You know what? Mario has to be Brandon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Mario has to be Brandon. And I guess by that metric, Luigi has to be Daniel, right?
Yeah, I feel like we're just repping GV Arcade at this point.
Yeah, right. I mean, I honestly, I put you as Bowser.
That works for me. I'm chaotic evil.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. There we go. Mr. Dwayne191, thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat, saying, hello, GVG crew. Happy Mario Day. Just a question for the occasion. What does the world of Mario mean to you guys and why? Well, that's kind of in depth, but Mario just is childhood. simply
Yeah,
put.
it is simple fun. I'll put it that way.
My first video game, and thank God for that, because my mom realized I liked Mario and got me more Mario. So I got Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3. I didn't really get to experience the other big Nintendo games because, well, my mom was choosing the games. So whatever looked good to her and what seemed to match my interest is what I got. And thank God Capcom was making good Disney afternoon games. So... Mama Luigi with $5 Canadian. Thank you so much. Saying, first time catching one of these lives. Well, welcome. Been watching you all since I was a high schooler in like 2013. And now I'm a grade 4 or 5 teacher. Wild stuff. Bless you for going into teaching. My God. That is.
Yeah. Thank you.
Whew, that is a job. So thank you so much.
And
for
it's your
being
first
here, too.
super chat. So thank you.
Yeah. That is very much appreciated. Lizard 81288 with $5 saying, Valve said a new deck is a few years away. What are your thoughts and what do you want improved? Do you think Nintendo could learn something from the deck? I know nothing of the deck, so I don't know.
I don't think there's a lot of lessons for Nintendo to pick up from the Steam Deck, because I feel like the Steam Deck is very much a product that stole heavily from the Nintendo Switch or borrowed liberally.
Yes.
Let's say. I don't.
The Sony method of borrowing liberally. Nintendo did this thing. We should do this thing.
Exactly. So I don't know that Nintendo's going to learn much. I mean, I don't think they looked at the deck and said, oh man, we should make a more powerful Switch. I think they had that idea. So
yeah, pretty much. RecBCQ with $2 super chat saying, favorite GVG inside joke. I mean, if only because of the art. I love us in the bathtub.
Yeah, the bathtub one's
that
probably
bathtub
my
art is so good. It's
there were some good memories with those streams.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it's weirdly cute for just such an odd idea that we had.
Yeah. That was probably my favorite piece of patron merch when we did the sticker for that.
Oh yeah, that was good stuff. All right. Real quick, we'll do Love You since they just came in, and then we'll get into the what we've been playing, and I think it actually really just ties into the news, so we'll probably just do all that as well. But Love You with $5 saying, hey y'all, with Tekken 8 being announced, what guest character would you want to see? My personal hopes are Captain Falcon or Nero from Devil May Cry. I guess not impossible since we got Akuma in Tekken 7. I don't know. I don't really think in terms of guest characters in Tekken, although that Alpha Lion, good idea. Tifa, I like it.
Tifa's a good one. I would go with Ryu, only because he would be a good foil for Kazuya in terms of having both a normal and an evil form.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Good work. Trying to think of other like fun ideas that you could really do for it. I mean, yeah, Kiryu. Everybody wants Kiryu. Kiryu does make a lot of sense. So. Yeah. But yeah, that is our super chats for now. Of course, if any more come in, we will read those, but it's been a busy week. And, I mean, as far as me playing anything, it's mainly watching Kai getting work done and playing a lot of Theater Rhythm, because Kai actually is mostly calm while I play Theater Rhythm. So yeah, I'm about 75% of the way through all the quests in that game. That's how much I've been playing.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been crafting teams and figuring things out, and yeah, that's been a lot of my time just because, well, I've been with Kai a lot. He actually fell asleep on me while I was playing it. I'm like, okay, bless this game. But have you been playing anything other than our first news topic, Steve?
I have been. So for those of you that don't know, I host a weekly podcast right here not right here, actually, on our Patreon, in which I talk about all things Nintendo. That airs every Saturday. And so I have been, in preparation for this week's episode of that podcast, finishing up Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which I finally rolled credits on
I'm still a ways away.
or late last weekend. And I have also been, because I finished that, I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem Engage again, because I'm still trying to beat that too. I'm like halfway done with that. And I've just been having a blast with both of those games. It's been nonstop enjoyment. So I'm hoping by the end of next week, I will find the time to finish both Fire Emblem and Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Those have been kind of eating up the majority of my time.
It makes sense. There's so much. God, there's so much. It's ridiculous how many big releases are coming out. But at the end of the month, we got our first one. We got our Resident Evil 4 remake demo dropping, and I streamed it last night, and I know you played it a bit. My God, what a game!
Yeah. It is impressive stuff. I played it in so if you follow my Twitter, you know that I posted a picture of this, but I played it in my friend's movie theater. He has a movie theater in his house. And so I was like, you have a 150-inch screen. Let's put RE4 on this thing. And it was awesome. It is a really, really amazing game. I think it kind of tops the remakes that have been coming out to date. Like, it is just visually arresting how good this game looks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's, my God. I mentioned this as I was going through, but the way they managed to, they said it during the live stream, but I couldn't quite believe it. I was like, maybe, but it really does feel like everything you remember, but different. Like, yeah, you start out in that house, you encounter that first guy, but there's also a remix to it that makes it feel so, like worth replaying, It's not just the exact same experience, but prettier, which was kind of the big worry, because Resident Evil 2 and 3 got, closer to the RE4 type idea behind the back stuff. And you could feel that immediately how it got improved. But that's a little bit more difficult when it's Resident Evil 4, and it's the one that sort of set up that whole idea. So, oh man, it is so good.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's we're 2 weeks away.
Something like that.
It convinced me. I don't usually mess with RE, but I'll definitely be picking this one up.
Have you played the original? Please tell me you played the original RE4.
I did, but okay. I played it on Wii, and I will say that was my one disappointment, because as somebody who experienced RE4 on Wii, I was like, where's my gyro controls? Where are my motion control options?
Did you look? Because I thought somebody said there was motion controls, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
So
I didn't look.
I will admit that I was a wee bit inebriated when I played, but I went through the controls on PS5, and I'm seeing now in our live audience chat that it is in there somewhere. But maybe I was too drunk. Maybe I just couldn't figure it out. But I went through all the control options, and I didn't see one that screamed to me, these are motion controls. So, oh no, now I'm embarrassed because Cutie Caitlin's correcting me too, and she's not in her right mind.
No, apparently everybody's drunk today.
Yeah, so I don't know how I missed it, but I scrolled through the control options and I didn't find it. But I will try it again.
I mean, I think it still played great.
That being said, without motion controls, it was still great.
Oh yeah, I mean, I played RE4 on GameCube when it first released, and I had no issue. Like, it's still completely fun. But the other thing with that, I did not know this is a thing. They did not advertise this thing, but this whole like chainsaw difficulty or whatever it was called after you beat it, apparently can only randomly pop up, but it's a super hard mode that becomes available, and you only get one shot. You die, and you're kicked out and kicked back into the regular mode. And it's like,
wow.
I tried to I gave it a shot, got to that first encounter in the basement, and instead of the one guy coming in, it was 3 guys immediately, and they took so many bullets, got a hold of me, killed me in 2 hits.
Oh wow.
I was like, oh boy. That was, I was even like shot him in the head, nothing, and I was like trying to get down to the knee, but that's when they got me. So, yeah.
I'll have to give that a shot when I randomly unlock it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, keep playing it, I guess. So there you go. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 difficulty. Oh wow, Vedron actually beat the chainsaw difficulty this morning. Congrats,
monster.
Because I did beat the demo. I mean, I was actually surprised how short the survive in the village lasted. It felt like that bell rang very quickly.
I felt like a long time for me. So
time dilated.
With a clear head.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So yeah, it's definitely really good. Really enjoyed it. And I mean, same could be said about that final Mario movie trailer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had conflicted thoughts, and I talked to I've actually already recorded this week's episode of The Win, but I had conflicted thoughts about it because I feel like it's a good trailer, but I feel like it was really weird that they framed a whole direct around it because it was like 1 minute.
Yeah, it was extremely short. And I know it was a big deal because it was the final trailer, but it's like it would have been cool to see more. But I'm also glad I didn't because I mentioned this during the stream. Illumination has a tendency to like show a trailer of their movie and you understand the entire plot of their entire movie. You watch Sing and you see the first, second, and the third acts all clearly laid out. Like you know exactly how that movie's going to play out. Mario, you mostly have the idea, but it's still like not exactly connective tissue. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I think that the difference here is that Illumination knows with their own original properties that these are squarely for children, and that when a child watches a trailer like that, they don't connect all that stuff,
right?
They're but they know that there's going to be a significantly higher portion of adults going to see this movie than most of their other stuff. For instance, Ash already has tickets and he doesn't have children, so
yeah.
So
exactly.
he's definitely, and I think there's going to be a ton of people in that camp, people who don't have kids, who grew up with Mario, who want to see this movie. So they can't lean into the fact that, people aren't going to care if the trailer gives away spoilers. Like you said, though, there's this unique Nintendo problem where they already have like a strong opening for something they reveal, and then they barrage you with content about it until you know too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that they're showing some atypical restraint here and not spoiling the surprises for us.
Yeah, it's appreciated. And I guess they're kind of doing the same thing with Tears of the Kingdom because you kind of forget. I'll be honest. I kind of forgot Tears of the Kingdom was coming because I was like, all right, I decided because I was trying to decide between did I want to get Metroid Prime Remaster or Resident Evil 4. Because I only have so much money to get a game per, I can't get all the games. I just can't afford it at all. So I really like Metroid, love Metroid Prime, but that demo of Resident Evil 4 convinced me. It's like, no, I got to go for the Resident Evil 4 demo. Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Game. I think that's a wise choice. Resident Evil 4 is, at the end of the day, Metroid Prime Remastered, though an excellent remaster, is still, just the same game, right, just much better visually. Whereas RE4 takes the game and kind of reinvents it in new and interesting ways. So it's a net new experience in a way. And I think that's the right way. If you have to choose between the two, I would probably choose RE4 as well.
The one big worry is that the physical version of Prime Remaster disappears, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll stay in stock.
So. Well, yeah, Nintendo last week, I think, put out a statement saying they were going to produce more copies because the demand was higher than anticipated.
Right. And I mean, they said they were discontinuing the Mario 3D collection. And I saw that in stores for ages before it finally left. So I feel like I have a little bit of time.
I think I could still find Mario 3D collection in like Walmarts and Targets and stuff like that.
Maybe. Real quick, since we just have that slight reference to Resident Evil, Sean Wape with $2 asking, did anyone beat the hidden difficulty? I did not. Steve did not encounter it, but I did see somebody in the live audience who did. So
yes,
good on them. That's all I'll say because my God, I was not ready for it.
Good job, Vidron. That's impressive.
Seriously. Then we weren't there for this. Did you get? Well, honestly, are you a Layton fan, Steve?
So I'm something of a Layton fan. I've tried many of the games and I haven't beaten any of them, but oddly enough, not for a lack of enjoyment. Just kind of, it's one of those things where you're playing it for a while and then your attention drifts to something else and you kind of never come back. But I've enjoyed every single Layton game I've tried. I've just never finished one for some reason.
Oh man. I've played all 6 main games in the crossover with Ace Attorney. I've enjoyed all of them. I did not get Catch Royale or anything like that. But I love that series and I've been hoping for an actual Layton sequel for a long time to see them pick up a year after the ending of Unwound Future, actually continue it. Have this really great idea of having Luke be the famous detective this time around and Layton's the unknown. I think that's a fun little like twist on how on their dynamic, and them actually going to America this time around. Plus, it just looks gorgeous.
Yeah, holy crap, the visuals are so nice. Like, it's hard to believe that that's going to be a Switch game.
You don't think?
I think it will be.
Oh, okay.
I think it's almost a foregone conclusion with Layton that it's going to be on a Nintendo platform.
Yeah.
But I do wonder with that weird 2023/24 timing that it's going to be possibly like a Switch 2 game, which makes a little more sense to me because it looks so clean in the trailers.
We'll see.
It'll almost certainly be on like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got it on PS5, but I like the idea of the kind of change in the dynamic there where Layton's not, technically quote unquote the main character there in terms of just how well known he is. I like Layton kind of taking a back seat there. I hope that this will be the game that gets me to finish a Layton game.
Right. It'd be really nice if actually they released a collection of like at least the first 3 games, Curious Village to Unwound Future, because that they're ridiculous, but they're still a lot of fun, and finding ways to actually make it work. I don't know. I feel like it'd be worth doing. Plus, re-experiencing them, having a new setup, because. So here's a thing for Layton games for those who are not familiar. Layton is an amazing series and has some very fun plots, but their explanation of how things work are always the wildest things. Like, you cannot think too deeply about it because the layers it goes into are just out of this world. Like you when you really think about it, it like almost makes no sense. But it's fun. And Unwound Future, the third game, like actually got me to tear up. Like, it is legit.
Oh wow.
And Shadow Mapre, yes, Layton is more wild than Ace Attorney. I think if you look at the reveal of both Curious Village and Unwound Future, my God, the way they go as far as like what's actually going on is kind of wild. You get a little taste of it in the crossover game. But I mean, cool to see. Like, Amy doesn't finish Layton game, doesn't finish most games, but finish the Layton games. So, there you go.
My polar opposite.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So yeah, looking forward to more details on that, but that seems like a ways off. Otherwise, we had the release of the Mario Kart 8 DLC. And have you got to try that out yet, Steve?
I have not, and I really want to. I'm excited to try the Mario Kart 8 DLC. I'll probably do it tonight, to be honest.
Makes sense.
We're gonna, right after the show, we'll probably throw it on in the theater room over there. But the track list wasn't super inspiring to me. It wasn't super hype. I'm more hyped that they added a character than anything else.
And we got 5 more on the way. I'm sure you saw that.
I did. I've seen people positing what that is. I hope we get at least one more like crossover character. I really want us to get like Samus or something, especially because she could have like a gunship cart, and that would be really rad.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see. I mean, let's actually have Kirby, that sort of thing. like we had it for so cool. long, so yeah. But I agree that it seemed like the lineup was a little weak, but upon playing it, there's some good tracks here. I did enjoy them. I think obviously the best one is Yoshi's Island. The theming, the sound design, the way certain secrets show up. My God, it's so good. It is. It is a top tier Mario Kart course, especially if you love Yoshi's Island.
Awesome! I can't wait. I can't wait to try it. Like I said, tonight will probably be the night that I get those. It's just been such a whirlwind of stuff happening, and I'm still trying to clear out my backlog. I really want to get to a place before Tears of the Kingdom where at least my Nintendo first-party backlog is clear.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And Mike actually wanted to address that as well. Singapore Speedway is by far the best city track we've had. It is gorgeous. Like, holy crap. You look forward to that one, Steve. It is
nice. I'll have to check it out. I'll come back to you next week and let you know what I thought.
Yeah. And we'll have a tier list coming out soon. I believe we're recording that tomorrow. We'll be doing Ash, myself, and Brandon will be discussing our tier rankings. And I know there's already a little, we're not on the same page on a couple of these tracks. So we'll see. There's at least going to be a little bit of arguing, I suppose.
Fight!
Yeah, finally, right? All right. The next bit of news, I put it in here because you talked about it in your most recent game of the when you playing through the games of the previous month, your game of the month video.
Game of the month.
Yeah. So we had Grim Guardians come out, and I still need to pick that up because it seems it's a new thing from Inti Creates. It's very much Castlevania inspired and looks pretty good. I just haven't got a chance, again.
It is quite good.
Time type thing. However, and I think that's another reason I wanted to point this out, it's getting a retitle because apparently they got a legal claim from the owners of a fantasy franchise called Grimguard. So a series that uses a similar sounding name for a range of tabletop and mobile titles. So they're forcing them to change the title. So now instead of Grim Guardians, it's Gal Guardians Demon Purge. Which
come on,
is dumb in some ways, but in other ways, it kind of makes more sense as a title. But since I had no idea this was a Galgun spinoff. So
yeah.
It makes it a little clearer.
It definitely makes it a little clearer. I feel like it wasn't. I just hate this kind of legal BS that impacts games. Like, no one's going to be confused about a Castlevania clone where a girl has a machine gun versus whatever the hell your tabletop game is. Right.
It's just like how it had to be called Dragon Warrior in the States until 8 because of a Dragon Quest tabletop game. So
exactly. Just incredibly silly.
Yep, it happens sometimes. Let's see. Next up, just real quick because we have the big news of the Resident Evil 4 demo dropping. But we also got a bunch of other demos. Grim Grimoire, Bayonetta, Origins, and Front Mission First all got demos this week. So
yeah, I haven't gotten to try any of these, and I really want to try the Bayonetta demo.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that one.
Yeah, I imagine that's what was played in our preview that we put up on the channel a couple weeks back. But yeah, Front Mission is also an interesting one to me because I think that's FromSoft, isn't it? That did the Front Mission?
No. They're that's Square. This is Forever Entertainment. Front Mission is the tactical mech game. FromSoft does the what is it? Why am I blanking on the? Why am I blanking on FromSoft's mech game? It's what they were known for. Oh God,
Armored Core.
Armored Core. Thank you.
Right.
My God,
I was getting tied up.
I was getting really upset there. I was like, come on, I know this. But yeah, so check those demos out if you missed them, because it's very easy to get lost in the whole thing. Grim Grimoire, once more, is a remaster of one of the first games from the creators of 13 Sentinels, Muramasa, Odin Sphere. So definitely worth a look.
Nice. I mean, that's a pretty good pedigree right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a 2D 2D tactics game featuring witches. So there you go. And finally, I almost missed this. I almost forgot about it because so much has happened this week, Steve, and we have to talk about it because it's us. Budokai Tenkaichi 4 was announced. We barely got anything of it, but Budokai Tenkaichi is a thing after what, 20 years or so?
Yeah, it's
15?
been a long time. I think the last one was Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was definitely a Wii era game, and I've only ever played the Budokai games. I had a friend that had Budokai Tenkaichi, I think 2, maybe 3, and I played a little bit of that, but it was so weird to me at the time because it was behind the back. But I know it was just filled with characters, and I'm curious if they're going to go all out like this again, where it's just like, where it's just like 200 characters and or so, you know.
Man, I'm curious about that myself because even for its time, I don't think that the Budokai Tenkaichi series had like the highest production values. It was really meant to just be like a fun, throwdown kind of Dragon Ball game. I was shocked to see the level of visual quality on display in that trailer.
Right?
I was like, I know that it's been decades, but at the same time, this looks very good by modern standards.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful. I think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna just give us loads and loads of characters. I mean, you're gonna get your typical like absurd number of forms of Goku, but
Yeah.
I think they're gonna be a little more restrained in the roster. And judging by Bandai Namco's more recent strategy with games in general, but even more specifically Dragon Ball games, I bet this game has a long ass tail of DLC on it.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. You are totally right on that. That's totally possible. I mean, they're still putting out stuff for Xenoverse 2, so.
Yeah, I had to look it up. Xenoverse 2 is 7 years old, and they're still releasing DLC. So, I bet we get a lot of support for Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Mm-hmm. Yoshiller, it would not surprise. Welcome, by the way. It would not surprise me if Hercule Mr. Satan is back as a playable character. That makes sense to me. Honestly, I'll take you one step above. Let's get Bulma and Chi-Chi as playable characters.
Oh, that would be rad.
Get Bulma in a mech as well. Get Chi-Chi. She's a fighter. You can make it work. She's more of a fighter than Hercule was.
That's true.
She killed a dinosaur as a 10-year-old, so it's all good. Also, Neoxin. I didn't even realize this. It's the first Dragon Ball game, saying it's the first Dragon Ball game to adopt Shintani's character designs from the Super Broly movie. Which, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I love the look of Super Saiyan Blue in the Shintani style. So that's going to be really cool to see. I hope they carry that forward because the Budokai games had a weird habit of like mixing different different renditions of characters. So it looked kind of mishmashy in some points. But yeah, I hope we get that for like a consistent visual style across the board. I can't imagine like with the kind of cinematic nature of the trailer we got that they would not do that. So I think it'll be Shintani style across the board, which would be really cool to see because we haven't seen every character in that style.
No, we haven't, especially if we get legacy characters in that style. That'd be wild.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun. Rec BCQ with a $2 super chat saying the Par Brothers for Budokai Tenkaichi 4. Sure, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, why not?
Oh gosh. So yeah, that is most of the big news for this week. There's a lot of stuff, as we said, a lot to play and enjoy. And man, there's a lot coming out. It's kind of crazy.
I need that. I need Tenkaichi 4 to get a demo or something steady. That game,
right?
I will be lined up day one for that. That is a super exciting announcement. Like I didn't think we'd see it, and I had literally like weeks before that been wondering when the hell we were going to see a new Dragon Ball game from Bamco. When they announced, I think when we were watching the announcement for that Naruto collection,
oh yeah,
quote unquote, I was positing like, where is Xenoverse 3? And to be fair, I'm way happier for us to get Budokai Tenkaichi 4 than a third Xenoverse.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I mean, there's only so much you can do in Xenoverse. I guess you could do more in Xenoverse at this point, but yeah. Yoshilla asking if we'll think Tenkaichi 4 come to the Switch. I mean, Fighters came to the Switch. Kakarot came to the Switch.
Loves the Switch, yeah.
Yeah. I
think we'll see a delay.
Yeah, it won't be day and date, but it has a decent shot, I think.
Yeah. I would give it, I would honestly say 100%. I can't believe that they wouldn't do it. Just if they ported Kakarot, which I feel like was probably a pretty big effort, and they did a great job with that port.
Mm-hmm.
I think we end up getting Budokai Tenkaichi. Dragon Ball fans and Nintendo fans work together very well.
Yeah. Although some are saying because we don't have a release date and it seems to be current gen only, might be a Switch successors game. So who knows?
Definitely a Switch 2 game at this point, I think.
Yeah.
I think most games that don't have an announced date are much more likely to be Switch 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, with all that out of the way, I think it's time for us to get to our Patreon topics this week. As always, we ask for some topics from our patrons and pick and choose what we might talk about. So I think this week I will take Young Ben Kenobi's. Speaking of this sequel to the Switch, with it looking like likely we'll be getting a new Nintendo console at some point in 2024. What game or games would you like to see come out later in 2023 to be the swan song for the Switch? This perfect swan song Switch game.
Ooh,
that's tough. Because I do think we'll see something from Nintendo in the fall, for sure. What that might be is really difficult because part of me wants to say it'd be Metroid Prime 4. That seems like it seems like a pretty decent possibility. But I could also see Metroid Prime 4 being a really good system seller for the Switch 2. And that's where it's tricky for me, though, because the Prime Remaster has definitely done well, but maybe they didn't really realize that. Maybe they didn't think it would actually do as well as it did, which is why they had such a limited release. So maybe they're still counting on Prime 4 to be the swan song of the Switch, just because they're like, it probably won't sell any systems. We'll have new Mario for that. Because I don't think we're getting a new 3D Mario or even 2D Mario game until the Switch successor at this point.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said, Derek. I'm gonna base this less on what I feel would be true and more on what I would like to see,
Right.
because I feel like otherwise I can't really provide a good answer. Because I feel like okay, so actually, let me back up just a little bit. I'm gonna say, in a realism sense, I think the quote unquote swan song is Tears of the Kingdom.
True.
I feel like that's the biggest game we're going to get for the remainder of the Switch's life. In terms of what I'd like to see, just because I really like things to be symmetrical, and I feel like the Switch, has had a great run. I would want to see a Mario game. We started with Zelda in the first year and ended with we ended with Xenoblade, but we already got Xenoblade 3, and even in Pie in the Sky, we're not getting Xenoblade 4.
I mean, I guess technically we are getting that DLC, and that was standalone on this for Xenoblade 2.
That's true.
Maybe that's our swan song, but either way, I mean, it's still technically DLC.
Yeah, I'd like to see a new 3D Mario. I don't, in any world, believe that we're getting one as the final game for the Switch. I agree with Derek. That's what you put out in front of the Switch 2 to get people to move over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're getting Mario 2 at the beginning of the Switch, but it would be the thing I'd like to see them close it out with. Let Mario say goodbye to the Switch. But realistically, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, maybe the DLC is a standalone, and I would totally take that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. I'm trying to the thing is, there's so many possibilities of what Nintendo is sort of holding back and could just be a successor within the first 6 months of the launch, where you have a Mario game, you have potentially a new Fire Emblem game, you have Metroid if they decide to hold it off till then. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities there. Have Mario Kart ready for the first 6 months for the Switch successor, especially because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe launched within the first 6 months of Switch, and it's still the best-selling game in the series.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. Another game as a swan song. I'm trying to think of a bigger game, but also not too huge from Nintendo. I don't know if I have one.
Give me something weird and original to close out the Switch. Give me like a Mysterious Morisame Castle remake.
Yeah, there you go. I'll take that.
Something that they wouldn't do on a console that they were trying to sell to people still.
Right. Yeah. I see a lot of Wario Land, Rhythm Heaven. Yeah, those make sense. It'd be interesting to see which game ends up being the last game released for the Switch from Nintendo themselves. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve? What's your patron topic this week?
All right, let's see. Mine comes from Spicy Pandaughter, and I'm reading it in a very weird way, so I have to. It's like too small for my screen. Let me go ahead and blow this up just a sec so I can read it legibly. My laptop is not the greatest machine on earth, that's for sure. Let's see.
Do you want me to read it for you since I have it right in front of me?
Yeah, if you have it up,
okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So Spicy's is, do you think online play should be a must for any and all games that have any form of multiplayer? In this day and age where meeting people online happens so frequently and more often that they won't live nearby to you or in another country, making meeting up a few and far between. It baffles me that many prime games for multiplayer don't release with online. It's so disheartening to find out about a game and think, oh wow, I have a bud who'd love to play this. Wait, no online. Even worse, games that get re-released from before online play existed and they still don't have online.
So I'm going to just probably upset you. And I'm going to say no, because I think there are forms of multiplayer that do not work online. I think there are types of multiplayer games that just are worse for being online. Specifically like split screen stuff, like online split screen doesn't make sense to me. I could, if I weren't on the spot right now, I could probably think of a couple examples of multiplayer that's a bit more, innovative that couldn't work in an online setting. But the bigger reason is that smaller developers don't have the resources to do online necessarily, right? A lot of like smaller indies can't afford to develop their game to work online. And while I think that it's great to have online capability in games, I don't want it to ever be required. I don't think it's fair to developers to say you have to have online functionality or we won't publish your game or we won't let you put it on our platform. So I like a world where there are still games that are strictly for two friends to get together, sit on a couch and play, even if they are increasingly in the minority.
I mean, it's so hard to meet up with friends anymore. It's like I get the idea, especially because there are some games that would make sense to have some online. Case in point, Return to Dreamland. That's, actually be able to play with 4 friends and enjoy that online. And there are games out there that have online, really should make it work, and botched it, like the Crystal Chronicles remaster. They completely botched that online mode, which is such a shame.
Oh yeah.
And Max is only mentioning Four Swords online. Yes, Four Swords Adventures I think is much more viable as an online multiplayer experience than a co-op experience, a couch co-op experience at this point.
I agree with that. I think both types have both their advantages and disadvantages. I just would never want to see that either one being mandated for games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, some teams are just too small to really manage that sort of idea or what have you. But as a convenience sake, in a perfect world where that was an easy thing to do, it would be nice because you do have, there's a lot of online friends these days. There's a lot of that possibility to like, yes, I want to play with this person and enjoy that. And that's, that's the fun of it. And even taken even further, as Boltmouse says, playing a new F-Zero game online with 30 players, that'd be amazing.
Oh, that would be rad.
So, yeah. And hey, we finally got Mario Party with online, so there's that.
Yeah, thanks for the question, though, Spicy. Like, I may disagree with you, but I definitely see your point.
Yeah, absolutely. But, with that, I believe we've covered basically all there is. For as much as there is to talk about, we talked about it so much because of being part of doing the whole streaming thing that there's not a whole lot of other stuff to get out there, and the demo for Resident Evil was quite short, which is I think in the positive in that case. But yeah, we're just going to call it here, and go from there. But thank you all so much for joining us. Let me get ourselves all set here. Bring up the credits.
And we
here.
do have a couple of super chats.
Do we have a couple of super chats?
I can read them out.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Looks like we just got a €2 donation from Jacomon with no comment. Well, thank you, Jacomon. We appreciate it. And we also have $5 from Tune J723, who writes, thoughts on Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Scarlet and Violet, and Just Dance 2023 losing a Kids' Choice Award to Minecraft, a 12-year-old game.
That does not surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me, but as a parent, like I'm just like, yeah, kids are kids. Like if kids actually voted, kids aren't going to care what year the game came out in.
No, that does not matter.
And I have to say, I might be more offended if Just Dance won. Like of all those games listed, Just Dance is by far my least favorite.
Yeah. No, based on having been around kids now, yeah, it makes sense. Minecraft won that. So
yeah, I don't know a kid who hasn't spent hours in Minecraft.
Right? It's kind of impressive, really.
Yeah, I don't think my kid, like I know my daughters love Scarlet and Violet, but they're also like on the older end of being kids at this point. Like Avery's almost 10, which God, but and she loves Scarlet and Violet, but she would not care at all about Mario and Rabbids, which is unfortunate. It's a great game. She just, I've shown it to her and she's like, nope.
Yeah. Amy's middle son really enjoyed Mario and Rabbids, but yeah, he not so much Pokemon or Just Dance, but and definitely loves Fortnite. So it's all over the place. You can't really be like all kids into this one thing. If Minecraft's on the docket, Minecraft's probably going to win. So
yep, there
is that. But yeah, I think with that covers our show today. And so thank you all so much for watching. It is always greatly appreciated. We really appreciate all the support, and that especially goes to all of our patrons at the producer tier and above. I'm like weirdly off center here. Really do appreciate all of your continued support, as the show would not be possible without all of you. And of course, an extra special, giant, huge, amazing thank you to all of our executive producers and above, and that includes Brandon Bovia, Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Z Patty, Jess Bryan, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, The D-Pad, Vesmio, Waffle King, Critter XD, Joy Content, Angel Martinez, Vedron, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Blind Man, Azran127, Black King, Pagrama, Geller, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Geeky Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Kyle, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Doug Shomix, Andrew Medeiros, Brady Power, Darchi, Becca, Rocks the Cat, Killamox, Sean Davis, Michael McCall, Matthew Wong, Goron Amber CPHT, Too Much Spaghetti, Bane 400, Ascaron 809, Rioner, Nathan Steele, Spicy Atanda, Rain and Clouds, The Game Orb, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravalox, Rosa Pardo Bowling.
Hi, Mom.
Mega Amster, Darksteel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Super Dank Awesome Unicorn Guy, Derek, Colin, Blaystar 25, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Keel, Moon Knight, Brendan Hesse, Hustlebun, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Brainchild, the entire state of Wisconsin, Jim Wakeland, Longboy Shiggy, Aramis Baramis, Kyle the Monarch, Dat Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Kyle Gamer and Barry Rookie, Blaze Collard, Eric, Cat Evie Person 5, Lady Maxillary, Peyton Thiel, Mega Beatman True Blue Reviews, and Young Ant. Thank you all so much for being here. Really do appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well. And of course, gotta give a shout out to our Good Vibes Arcade, which Brandon and Daniel run. Definitely check out more of them over on our Twitch channel, as well as their VOD channel, Good VODs Gaming. So definitely keep an eye on that. Thank you for appearing for this somewhat shorter show, but that's, Steve and I are on top of things, I guess. Of course, we'll be back. We'll be right here for our patron exclusive post show. So stay tuned for that. If you're not already a patron, that's at patreon.com/GVGaming. You can support us over there to become part of the live audience or become part of the EP squad, which we're playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe with this weekend. So that should be a lot of fun. So thank you all so much. Have a great weekend. And until next time, bye.
Bye, everyone.